Man, oh man, oh man. It is Wednesday, the 21st of August. What's the temp here in St. Louis? It's a cooler day here in St. Louis. 75 degrees. When I first got here on when day did I get here? I got here on the 31st of July. And the first week or so, ooh, man, it was blazing hot. Mid 90s, 90 degrees. Y'all know I like that. You know I like when it's like that. To go running and stuff because I'm crazy. But it was blazing hot, and now it's extra nice. We got Doctor Who gives a F. What's going on? How you doing? Good to have you in the building as we get into today's stories. Um, Yesterday and Monday, I was on Indisputable, and the shows went well. I was on there with Sharon Reed, and the DNC has been going on since Monday. Tonight, and then tomorrow we got it. Fritza, Queen Fritza, how you doing today? It's a lovely day here in St. Louis. We got Jason, we got Anomaly. Happy hump day to you as well. Good to have y'all here. But yeah, so the DNC has been, just generally speaking, far more impactful and effective than the RNC in terms of its capability to reach new voters or to change people's minds who maybe didn't really know what they wanted to do. Um I'm not I'm not in NYC. I'm in St. Louis right now, but the weather is heavenly here. I'll be back in NYC in like January, February, and it's gonna be cold. But right now it's looking like it's lovely around the country. But yeah, just overall, the DNC has been I mean, honestly, probably at least in my lifetime, it's been some of the most effective political production I've ever seen. Um when Obama got elected in 2008, I was in high school. I was a junior in high school when he got elected. So like I wasn't yet really paying that close of attention to politics. And even if I was, when you're 17, 18 years old, you don't necessarily see things the same way that you do when you're 32 like I am now. I'm still a young man, but I've come a long way since then. But I mean, Donald Trump continues to spiral out of control. He's behaving as if he really, I mean, let alone he doesn't want to campaign. He doesn't want to be on the trail. He's acting like he doesn't really want to be president. He's acting like he really wants to just go away and disappear somehow. But of course, that's not possible for him. He's posting, and we'll look at the video in a sec. I mean, he's in addition to all the ridiculous things that he's been saying and how he has absolutely no viable plans that will make a difference for the working class whatsoever. I continuously and will never stop talking about how I don't understand how anybody is willing to give Trump a pass on how he handled COVID. I really don't get it. Um, and before that, what did he do? He cut taxes for corporations. Oh, how incredible, how amazing. We got to get him back in office. Republicans should have went with another candidate. They really should have. We got Trump posting let's see. We got Trump posting talking about Kamala, and we'll look at it in a sec. He posting videos about how Kamala was on her knees and that's how she got to where she is today. It's like on a daily basis, he plays Russian roulette with how can I destroy my campaign the best to my ability. Again, it's Kamala and Walls are running a good campaign, but Donald Trump and JD Vance are just, I mean, I don't even know what to say about what they're doing. He gave the other day, he was in Michigan. He was incredibly low energy. Libby, what's going on? Good to have you here, Libby. And Areola. Um, but yeah, so he was in Michigan the other day and just incredibly low energy. Today he was in North Carolina and he's still doing the same stuff he's always done. He's not going to turn it around. I mean, look, when you got all the right wing outlets, publicly saying, "Please, Donald Trump, can you please get it together?" I think you're already in a spot that you can't really recover from because we live in a digital age and people, even if, let's say, in a couple weeks, Donald Trump magically gets his shit together, which he won't do, people aren't going to forget everything that's been happening. It's not going to be like, oh, It's not, people aren't just going to snap and forget what's going on. And the best that Republicans can do is whine and bitch and complain, and that's about it. And so we got also, I'm pretty sure that I have it pulled up, but reports about Donald Trump calling Netanyahu, pressuring him to reject a ceasefire because he thinks that it'll help him win. So, more deaths basically is what we need, according to Donald Trump, because the entire world revolves around his simple-minded pursuits. So we're gonna start off with that. We gonna start off talking about this. And it's not like this is unbelievable. It's not like this is something that nobody can conceive of, because this is Trump's and Republicans' general stance. I mean, they're going around calling anybody who is in support of Palestinians, protecting Palestinians, they're calling them pro-Hamas radicals. So it's pretty clear where they stand on things like that. So it's just, it's, I don't, what do you really say? Report alleges Donald Trump contacted Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu to halt ceasefire talks and dig to Harris Wall's campaign. Again, because that'll do him well. The report suggests that Donald Trump wants the deal halted, as his side believes it would boost the Harris Wall's campaign. Excuse me. Donald Trump finds himself under more scrutiny after a report suggested that the former president allegedly contacted Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who is in massive trouble. Netanyahu is in big trouble. And again, I've never proclaimed to be somebody who I don't cover this that much, because there's other people who are just far more knowledgeable and far more credentialed and appropriate to be talking about this on a regular basis. But Netanyahu's popularity is tanking. He's guilty of corruption. He's also guilty of carrying out a genocide against Palestinians. Apparently Israel's economy is absolutely tanking and doing very, very poorly. So ultimately, Netanyahu is in a very, very bad spot. Now, I think again, it's accurate to point the finger at Netanyahu, but this did not start with Netanyahu. And more importantly, the United States, our role in supporting Israel's theft of land from the Palestinians, also did not start with Netanyahu. And so I think it is very important for us to keep this pressure alive, because this is something that the Harris administration will have the power to do rather immediately. And if she doesn't, if Harris goes, because at this point, I think it's pretty obviously clear that Trump isn't going to win, because he can't stop shitting the bed. But if Kamala Harris gets in there and she doesn't address a ceasefire and really push towards progress in Gaza, that's going to make people very upset, to say the least. And I think that she and Walls and anyone in her camp is very, very aware of that. And so she's got to do something. But we're gonna have to wait and see. But of course, again, this is just generally the Republican stance on what's going on over there. So it's to no surprise at all. But yeah, this is going to be something that the Harris administration has to address very quickly. Not just for political expedience, but because it's important. I mean, people are over there getting slaughtered. People are over there just absolutely getting butchered and brutalized. And the United States continues to give billions of dollars in weapons sale. I don't care what your stance on anything is, that is wrong. That is evil. That is unjust. That is unacceptable. And we have an opportunity to at least call for a ceasefire, if nothing else. So we definitely got to keep this fight alive.
Delicate tightrope to walk here.
It is. I would venture to say, without hearing this directly from anybody, that one thing that the Harris campaign would love is if President Biden would bring home a ceasefire in the Middle East right now between Gaza and Israel. And we know that Secretary of State Blinken is over there right now working with Netanyahu. The reporting is that former President Trump is on the phone with the Prime Minister of Israel, urging him not to cut a deal right now because it's believed that would help the Harris campaign. So
Of course.
I don't know where that, I don't know, who knows whether that will come about or not. But I have to think that the Harris campaign would like for President Biden to do what presidents do, which is work on that one.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some other domestic issues that, they'd like.
But yeah, that was in addition to Biden's, a lot of what Biden was facing is that people just didn't feel confident that he could do this for another 4 years. But this really was the biggest issue that was really killing his campaign. I mean, I've never really been that much of a fan of Joe Biden in a sense of, I mean, I don't see him as some type of transformative president. There's decent things he's done policy wise, but other than that, the three strikes laws, his hand in credit card debt, student loan debt in this country, and then of course his constant capitulation to Netanyahu, especially that is why younger generations just weren't feeling the guy. And how can you blame them? Especially for an issue that's so big. When you're just coming into politics, when you're just able to vote 18, like 18 to like mid or mid 20s. I mean, obviously you care about things like healthcare, you care about education, stuff like that. But major issues that really pull at the heartstrings kind of are what get people into politics in the first place. So you look at the Americans' reaction to the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement, really big things like that, gaping gangrenous wounds in humanity going on in the world. And your response to that is, whatever, we just gonna keep on giving them weapons. I don't really see how you can look at that and make excuses, because at the end of the day, the United States, we're the big boys on the block. There aren't that many countries in the world that really can challenge us in any significant way outside of China and Russia. But Russia's economy can't challenge us worth a damn. They can blow shit up like we can. China's really the only country on the planet that has an economy as large and powerful as we do. So if we, at least if nothing else, what America is absolutely capable of doing is, not selling Israel more weapons, not endlessly giving them tax dollars to support a state that isn't really supporting itself very well. There's just gaping obvious things that we can do. But this shit right here is just, obviously I don't think anyone is surprised to see some shit like this, but nah, man. I mean, among other things, this is definitely one of the reasons why we can't have this guy in office, man. I mean, we just can't. It could be this man will use Palestinians as a prop, and we'll get into other videos in a sec of just, Republicans' general response of, again, the pro-Hamas radicals. What are they really saying? If you support Palestinian lives, which we know. And do not forget that number 18 on Donald Trump's 20 bullet point list of his policy positions is to deport pro-Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe and patriotic again. So yeah. We can't have this guy in there at all. So hold on, let's get in here. What do you mean like calling to interfere? Is that what you mean is illegal for him to call and try to make that move? Didn't actually, yeah. I think was it Nixon? Yeah, I think Nixon got into some issues with that. I mean, what was it? It was, I don't remember exactly, but I think he got caught up calling and trying to interfere with some shit with the Vietnam War because it would benefit his campaign or something like that. But yeah. All right. So, and again, like it's we can give definitely, credit again to Kamala and Tim Walz's campaign. However, where's the video? you know, when you see, why did they take this video down? I'm trying to show y'all the video that Trump posted to his page, talking about how Kamala Harris basically, you know, screwed her way to the top. And it's just like, I mean, you know, it's, I don't know why the video's not on here, but for whatever reason, it's just like these guys wake up and try as hard as they can to lose this election. I'm gonna play something else while I look for the video, because the video was on my phone, but it's not on here. All right, hold up. Give me a second, y'all. My bad. Pew, pew. Let's pull this up. Let's pull up Kevin O'Leary talking about how Kamala Harris is. Yes, yeah, exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. But again, I mean, who would not believe something like that? That Donald Trump would do something like that. But yeah, we'll pull up Kevin O'Leary while I look for this other clip. Again, I don't know why it's not showing on the desktop version. You know, keep in mind, Kevin O'Leary is the guy who thought FTX was just the next best thing, and it was so incredible to, you know, pretty much anyone who, you know, has a thought in their head would be like, this kind of seems like a bit of a scam. But of course, you know, putting a ban on price gouging on groceries, you know, price gouging laws already exist all over the country in over 30 states. But, you know, we can't do that at all, because Kevin O'Leary, the TV show finance guy who loves him some FTX, he says so. So let's see what he has to say while I look for this video.
Oh, they're coming. Don't worry. Don't worry. There's a lot of narrative going on in the background, waiting for Labor Day to pass. This policy, the best way to describe it, is un-American. And let me explain why. In America, we don't tell a farmer what to sell his apple for, and we don't tell a grocer what to sell it for. That's how our economy works. We don't have the Ministry of Grocery Pricing. There's no way to monitor this. We tried it in the 70s. They tried it in the late 80s in the Soviet Union. They've been trying it in Venezuela. It leads to shortages and hyperinflation. This policy is beyond bad. It's insane. And I think it will go nowhere. I get why she's doing it. It's populist. But we're all waiting for when she has to sit in front of you, a reporter, who will ask her how she's going to implement this. That's when this falls apart. There is no way to do this. And every time it's tried, it's ended up in an absolute catastrophe.
Yeah, of course. You know, again, if we do anything whatsoever for regular working people, the economy is going to explode. But unironically, if you know, if we give everything to the rich and the, you know, multinational corporations, that'll work out no matter what, you know, because that's just common knowledge. That's just common knowledge right there. Let's see. I don't, again, I'm not seeing this video. I can watch it on my phone, but for whatever reason on the desktop, it's like blocked on every site. Don't know why, but again, but I watched the video multiple times. A lot of y'all have probably already seen it. But again, this isn't just stuff that's floating around in the MAGA ecosystem, but Trump posted this to his page. Okay, and in the video, again, I don't know why it's not showing on this, but it was like a 2-minute, 22-second long video. And at one point, it was a song. It was like she spent her whole damn life down on her knees. And then after that, what's the name? The former mayor, Willie Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco, popped up. So she spent her whole damn life down on her knees to be commander in chief. That's how you say please. Isn't it moronic? Don't you think? A little too moronic. Yeah, I really can't think. Like he is posting stuff like this to his page, in addition to just the, you know, the AI stuff, the Swifties for Trump. It's like, again, like what are you doing, man? Like I don't see it. And again, like what I say when people are like, well, Trump's got to get it together. He won't, because this is why Republicans like him so much. It is, you know, I mean, if there was some other candidate, any other candidate that Republicans went with, they would be in a much better position, because at least they wouldn't be bungling it the way that Donald Trump is. Yeah. So yeah, it was what was it a parody of? What was that song a parody of? A very popular song. But again, it's like you see stuff like that, and it's just like, what is happening? They love it, man. They love his stupidity. They love his entitlement. They love how he seems to get away with everything. They love his jokes. But now that they're not working, now that it's gotten old, now that the script has been flipped on them, now it's like, he's got to get serious. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. And more importantly than that, and again, this is why Hillary Clinton lost in 2016. Donald Trump is not really campaigning. He doesn't have a lot of offices open where he should. He doesn't have the same amount of staff and volunteers. His ground game is barely anything to be spoken of. And we'll look at this in a sec. The Harris campaign had like $500 million, and again, some of that was already sitting there in the war chest. But people, I think what's very evident is people are sick of this bullshit. They were sick of Joe Biden. We're ready to move beyond the 90s apparatus of politics. We're ready to move past it. We got Joe Biden out of here. Now it's time to get Donald Trump out of here, and then we can move forward. But I think it's important for us to remember that we need to take advantage of the excitement. We need to take advantage of the kind of the general public's appetite for hope right now. Don't shit on it. Don't try to dampen people's hopes. Embrace it, because right now our ideas sound better than they ever have before. When people are coming together and bonding, again, we'll go over this in the DNC. Again, you just watch it, especially if you're a normal person, man. They was in there, they in there jamming. Not only are the speeches good and all that, but they're having a good time. They're having fun. They're thinking about progress. As progressives, we need to take advantage of this atmosphere of hope in progress so that we can make some progress. You know what I'm saying? We need to infiltrate the Democratic Party and take it over. That's what we need to do, because that's really the only thing we can do until we somehow eliminate this one vote per election system. Until we can get some time of I don't know why my mind's blanking on it right now, but whatever the name is, where you can vote for multiple candidates in each election. I don't know why my mind's blanking on it. But unless we can have some type of a system like that, then it is what it is. So I think it's important for us to take advantage of this atmosphere and sell our ideas like a motherfucker. Let's put on our sales caps. Let's put on our salesman suits and ties and get these motherfuckers on board with progressive ideas. Because again, I mean, like, for the most part, there's not that many people. Yes, ranked choice, exactly. Thank you. I guess I need to sleep more. I'm just a little slow today. But yes, ranked choice. And until we have something like that, and this is why it's important for us to be involved in local politics, because ranked choice voting does happen in some smaller cities and smaller towns in America. What you want to do is, to the best that we can, because the federal government, you need so much to get anything sweeping. You prove your shit. You start small and you build it out. Stuff like universal basic income. We see that when that works, we give universal basic income to people who may be homeless. We see, because the argument against that is, they'll just blow the money. But no, we see in fact that when you give people a bit of assistance, it helps. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to be on the streets. People don't want to be working 3 jobs to make ends meet. And when people have a bit more savings, when people have a bit more time, you're not as stressed out. You have a bit more luster for a positive outlook, and that makes you a more productive citizen in the economy in general. So what we want to do as progressives is target these policies, because again, we're not trying to hand over the means of production of society. I mean, there may be a very few amount of people on the left who do that, but that shit isn't going to happen, and most people don't want that anyway. But again, things like universal basic income, things like expanding the Medicare system, things like eliminating student debt, eliminating medical debt, which is part of Kamala and Tim Walz's economic proposal, things like that. I mean, most people aren't going to hear that and be like, no. People generally hear stuff like that and they're like, yeah, sounds kind of good. So again, I encourage all of us to take advantage of this atmosphere. Don't hate on the atmosphere. Take advantage of this atmosphere and let's win. Let's get more progressive candidates in office. Let's keep our eyes peeled for these local elections where we can get stuff like universal basic income and get that going, where we can change police municipalities. I think there's a lot of things that we can do. All right, you say it's a little pixely right now. Am I pixely? Let's see. Just left Candace on show. She might be able to recover. She is really out there on another planet. But yeah, no. Again, I think I'm hopeful, and again, not even just about like the Kamala administration. I think that there's some stuff that definitely will take place under a Kamala administration. But again, more importantly than that, we get the first woman president in there. She's black too. That's going to do something to the cultural psyche, to the American psyche. Again, make people feel as though we can do this shit. We can make progress. Let's see. I'm all pixely. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Am I quiet right matter? It's all good. Maybe it'll fix itself. All right. So but yeah, that was my spill on how I think that we can do a better job going forward. Because now's the time. All right, so let's see. Former President Donald Trump's campaign spending more than double last month as he dropped big money on ads attacking his new opponent, Kamala Harris. But he continues to significantly trail Harris in terms of campaign infrastructure that could help him turn his war chest into votes, according to new filings with the Federal Election Commission. Those reports underscore just how much Harris's ascendance upended the race. Hold on, who is this? Hold on. Cant. Let me see what I'm looking like right now. Oh, I'm trippy right now. I don't know what's going on, but y'all can hear me. So we gonna keep this thing going. Thank you for sending that to me, Kyle. I'm looking like a mushroom trip right now. All right, cool. Yeah, no, I saw that. Thank you. Hold on, what is this? Okay, now that's just a bit of recaps. I thought Doug Emhoff's speech was pretty good, and it's in a sense of, I think one of the things that's really working for the Harris campaign is normalizing them. One of the things that people, especially in the Biden during the Biden administration, one of my criticisms was, where is Kamala Harris? Where is she? And I think we're seeing that it might have been a bit of a mistake for Joe Biden to have hidden her, because I think clearly she's more likable than we thought she was. Clearly she's more relatable than we thought she was. Maybe she's gotten better over the last 4 years, but again, Doug Emhoff, he was talking about how they met, who she is, what type of person she is. And then versus Donald Trump, whose wife doesn't even want to hold his hand. So, again, I think just from a campaign perspective, their rollout and who they are is impactful with just like everyday median voters who don't really know who she is. Again, especially when you compare that to Donald Trump. Let me hold on. Let me pull up these numbers real quick. In terms of how much money, because I think the last time we were streaming, I was talking. I think she like a $270 million ad spend or some shit, like something crazy, some shit like that. Hold on, where is it? I got a bunch of stuff up. Well, I'll get there in a sec, because again, I got a bunch of stuff pulled up. Where are we? I agree with this right here. Let's see. Charlemagne the God, he says, hold on, who birthday is it? Who birthday is it? Oh, it's you don't like my happy birthday. You don't like my music. I hope that you are enjoying the day. And I hope that you are feeling hopeful. I think you in Canada, right? Yeah, y'all don't got to deal with the with the bullshit we do. You in Canada, man. But yeah, no, happy birthday. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's see. I agree with this right here. Charlemagne says Trump no longer wants to run after low energy speech in Michigan. He wants to be put out of his misery. But that's not going to happen in terms of, he can't just disappear and run away from the law. But I agree. I mean, if you look at how
President Trump.
you look at how
The
he's
past 4
operating,
years, the Marxists
you look at how he's operating, he's not, his head is not in this shit. His heart is not in this race. It just isn't.
left has waged a vicious war on law enforcement in our
This was yesterday in Michigan, and you can hear how low energy he was.
past 4 years. The Marxist left has waged a vicious war on law enforcement in our country. They've taken away the dignity and the spirit. We want a crime-free America. We're going to stop violent crime in the United States.
He don't want to be there no more, man. You can hear it in his voice.
He just talking because he got to let them know he in class.
He want to take a nap.
Donald Trump is over it. He does not want to be the Republican nominee no more. He is hoping that Republicans do him the way the Democrats did Biden. He wants to be put out of his misery. You can hear it in his voice. Nikki Haley told y'all months ago, she said the first party to get rid of their 80-year-old candidate was going to win this election. That's why Democrats have so much energy right now. Republicans should have done the same. There is no way Donald Trump should have been y'all nominee.
He just wants to go fishing.
Hey, I mean, yeah, again, because pretty much, I mean, what's really the difference between Donald Trump and any other Republican in terms of policy and what they want to do? Not much. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really the difference? And I mean, I don't even know what the fuck to say about what Donald Trump's campaign is. On top of him being floundering, let me call up Netanyahu and tell him to block a ceasefire because that'll help me. Thousands of people dying will help me. That's who he is, man. That's who he is.
He just wants to go fishing and play golf.
There's no way. You can hear it in his voice.
Facts. Donald Trump just wants to be a celebrity. That's all he really wants.
He do not want to be there no more.
Nope.
I find it fascinating that he chose crime to talk about, being that he is a 34-time felon anyways. Meanwhile, his VP pick, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, appeared at a campaign event in Battle.
All right, let's move forward. All right, now let's get to J.D. Vance. Let's get to J.D. Vance. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. Whenever Trump is reading, that's when Trump is in a serious. He's trapped in between a serious rock and a hard place. Because on the one hand, if he does stay on script and he reads, then he's really low energy and he sounds like he doesn't really want to be there. But then when he's off script and he's just shooting from the hip, he's saying stuff like Kamala Harris isn't black and I want to eat dinner with Hannibal Lecter and, the likes. The typical Donald Trump spill is what he does. Now, let's see J.D. Vance, who is by far the worst VP pick in history ever. Let's see what he has to say. J.D. Vance claims Kamala Harris will walk us right into a nuclear war. Again, let alone the ridiculousness, one of the biggest issues with J.D. Vance being a VP pick is he's 39 and he hasn't done anything in politics. That's really one of the biggest problems with him. What record do you have to speak of? She's going to walk us into a nuclear war because, I have so much experience. Yeah, you was in the army and all that shit, but you're 39, bro.
Only president of the last 20 years who had Russia not invade a neighbor was the presidency of Donald J. Trump. He kept Russia in check. He's the only president of our lives to do it.
What? And we'll get into later. Trump like I all I had to do was make a phone call and there were no wars. There was peace in the Middle East. Nothing happened while I was in president. Like, okay, so says you.
Kamala Harris. Putin invaded Ukraine, but under Donald Trump, Putin didn't do a damn thing. And that
again, what kind of a point is this? Because you can't really prove or disprove a point like that because it's so hypothetical. While I was there, it didn't happen, but when I wasn't in office, it did. Like, how can you prove anything about that right or wrong? Like, I can't disprove that because there's no telling what would have happened if you were in office. Like, it's such a hollow, empty point that really doesn't land with anybody other than, MAGA people.
That's because of strong leadership. People respected him. And that's, by the way, my friends, why we were able to defend our own border is because Donald Trump didn't have us distracted by fighting wars that we had no business being involved in. We got to focus on our own border right here at home. That is the Donald Trump.
What does that even mean? Especially, it was Joe Biden who got us out of Afghanistan, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump said he was going to do it, but he didn't do it. And that was one of the most base things that came out of Joe Biden's administration is he got us out of Afghanistan. And when the media was like, he was like, yeah, kiss my ass, fuck y'all. Donald Trump didn't do that. Joe Biden did it. So like, what are you even talking about? What does this even mean?
Trump principle, and that's what we're going to bring back to the White House.
Yep, we covered that. We covered that the first story when the stream started. That's the first thing we went over. You know, because he thinks he thinks it'll help him win, but you know, no.
It's funny. All these people said that he was going to start a nuclear war, but President Trump knew more about diplomacy than any president of the last 40 years. In Asia, he opened diplomatic talks with North Korea after a half-century of stagnation.
But what came from it? All he did with North Korea is talk about how, you know, how Kim Jong, he's the boss there. He's the boss. That's all he did. He went and shook hands with him on camera. That's all that happened.
And you remember when he went to North Korea, he met with Kim Jong-un, the leader of that country. And if you know anything about Kim Jong-un, well, how do I say this politely? Kim Jong-un doesn't miss a whole lot of meals, okay, my friends? And Trump stands there with the media and Kim Jong-un. You remember this? I'd encourage you to go look it up. And he brings the media in and he says, all right, everybody, take some photos of us, make us look nice, make us look skinny. And Kim Jong-un sat up like that. It means something to have a president who's
What kind of a point was that? This dude just called Kim Jong-un fat, and when Donald Trump took a picture with him, he said, "Make us look skinny." That's important. You know, you got to have that. What does that even mean? I don't even know what to make of that point.
Not afraid to go into hostile territories, tell a few jokes, and actually engage in diplomacy.
What came from it, though?
That preserves peace. While all these Democrats lied about Donald Trump being the candidate of nuclear war, Donald Trump is the person who prevented nuclear war. And if we're not careful, Kamala Harris is going to walk us right into nuclear war. We got to kick her out and not give her promotion to President of the United States. And maybe the most important thing Donald Trump did is he began the process of ending America's economic reliance on China. The most important thing, because Donald Trump.
That is so hilarious to me. But China brilliantly made themselves indisposable to the planet. Like, there is really nothing anybody can do about China because China makes everything. They make everything for everybody. What are you really going to do? Not only that, their economy's massive. They're like completely restructuring the trade routes throughout the world to all lead back to China. Like, what are you really going to do? Because all they have to do is say, okay, we'll just stop making this. We'll stop making that. Like what are you talking about?
Trump understands economic security is national security. The whole world knows that China doesn't have better workers than America, but they're willing to lie, cheat, and steal to win.
They're willing to lie, cheat, and steal to win. But not Donald Trump. Not Donald Trump. Again, Trump was in North Carolina today. I watched some of it, but like I'm starting to not watch his rallies because he says the same shit every time. Every time he has a rally, he says the same stuff. And today he was, should I get personal or should I stick to the script? He said that. Like, he said that multiple times. And of course his crowd was like, yeah, get personal. I mean, he's just, oh God, I don't know what's going on. I guess it just is what it is today. It just looks bad today. I don't know. I don't know. It's still grainy. Whatever. We'll keep it going. All right. So yeah, Trump held another rally, but he's saying the same old stuff. Hold on, what is this? Okay, we have to watch this. Apparently, when he was in North Carolina, it said he said, "Thank goodness Mark lost a lot of weight." He talking about Mark Robinson, the ridiculous candidate from North Carolina. We gotta see this. All right, hold up. Here we go. Trump roasts GOP candidate while worrying stage might collapse.
Thank you. Great job, Ted. Mark Robinson, he's out there. He's fighting. He's fighting. He's a great one. And I think we have a lot of our sheriffs here, don't we have? Where are they? Will this stage hold them? I'd love to bring them up. Come on, sheriffs, get up here. Mark, come on. I don't know if this stage is going to hold them, but if it doesn't, we've had bigger risks than this. Come on, sheriffs. If you weigh more than 200 pounds, don't come up. I'm only kidding.
He said, if you weigh more than 200 pounds, don't come up. Man, if he just never would have became president, he could look. If he would have dropped out of the race, or better yet, if Hillary just would have actually campaigned in 2016, she would have won. He could have just done this shit for the rest of his life. He could have enjoyed loud applauses, huge adoring crowds. It would have been so much better for him, because this is really what he wants to do.
Come on.
And if you weigh more than 200 pounds. Right. Bulletproof glass. He got it. Yeah, they say he's been like watching the assassination attempt over and over again. Can't blame him for being a little nervous, you know what I'm saying, for having a little PTSD from what happened.
Slow down, guys. Come on back. Double them up, man.
Bro, what is happening? They're just making their rounds. Hold up, I got this pulled up. We definitely not gonna watch the whole thing, because for the most part, it's just the same old shit. What did Trump try to say when he was like, he said he was 6'3", 200 pounds, 215 pounds or something like that. Like, bro, you were definitely not 215 pounds. It's okay. Nobody would care about that. You care about it, but now you got us making fun of you because you can't stop lying.
Fantastic.
We're just gonna skim through this real quick.
It's going to be fantastic. So I just want to thank you very much for your support, because I've always had fantastic support from you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have a job to do. We have a job to do. We had some very good polls this morning, despite their...
We had some very good polls this morning. Where?
I call it the party, the Democrats' party. Do you know 5 people in Chicago were killed in the last little while since that charade that they have going on? They mentioned my name, I think, 271 times. They mentioned the economy like 12 times. They mentioned the border, maybe none. They don't talk about the border. Our great border czar doesn't talk about the border. But they mentioned me more than any other category. I'm now a category. They had me down today as a category.
Donald Trump is, God, the reason he's saying this right now is because he was mentioned. That's it. That is the only reason he's bringing this up. It's because he was talked about, and he likes that. He likes that. He is beyond pathetic. He is beyond pitiful. Like the only reason he's saying this is because that's what drives him being talked about.
That's all they talk about.
Why wouldn't they talk about you?
Trump. We've driven them crazy. They have Trump derangement syndrome. We've driven them crazy, and they should be driven crazy. They've done a terrible job for our country in every single way. There's not a thing they've done well except cheat and lie. They lie about stats. No, they lied about the crime numbers. The crime numbers didn't look bad. Then they found out that many of the worst places weren't included in the numbers.
Yeah, everything's fake. All right, let's skim through like 10 more. We're gonna skim through a little bit.
Outlast. Milley and these guys, you know, we have great generals, but Milley and Mattis and these guys, they didn't know what I call them television generals.
Oh my God. What is wrong with this dude? Now he's insulting generals. What is wrong with this man? He like you are currently in the hot seat for everything, really, but particularly right now, at least what people are talking about is how, the Medal of Honor isn't as good as the Medal of Freedom because people who get the Medal of Freedom look better. You don't get shot up, you don't die. And it's something that I give to, like, and you gonna sit up here and call generals stupid. Donald Trump is one of the dumbest people in American public life. He really is.
Television generals are no good, but the generals that defeated ISIS, for me, were great. We have a great military. But she had the final vote. She had the final say, and she was all for it. You take the soldiers out. If I took that young person right there, about 5 or 6 years old, beautiful young person, and if I said, I gave little details, like about 30 seconds worth of details. Would you take the military out first or last? Sir, I'd take the military out last. But they took it out first.
What is he talking about?
We left hostages. We left all of the equipment. We left everything.
Okay, so now he's saying that he wouldn't have left Afghanistan. I guess that's what he's talking about.
Bagram, and now China.
Skip ahead a few minutes.
The Prince of Death out. He's the #1 arms merchant in the world. Russia got him as part of one of the deals. The #1 arms merchant in the world. We got a couple of people. But, why were they there? And why did they do what they did? But they got some of the most criminal, the toughest, meanest criminals anyone participated now again because we give it away to everybody. And for nothing. I mean, they don't do anything for us. We don't get anything.
Yes, all for him.
We don't even get a pledge that we'll pay you back someday if we have the money. How about that? Pay you back someday. If we have the money, I sponsor athletes sometimes. If I see somebody that I like in sports, I sponsor some golfers. Usually doesn't typically work out. I don't know if you know, it's like a 5,000 to 1 shot. But I'm good at that stuff and I can see talent. And I'll give them a few $1,000s. I'll give them $50,000. I'll say, you're really good. You could make it. Why aren't you trying out for the tour? Sir, I have no money. I have to give lessons. I have no money. He said, you're too good to give lessons. You can be a tour player. I said, I don't have any money. I said, here's $50,000. And here's the deal. If you do well, you pay me back with no interest. Just good luck. If you don't do well, which you probably won't, because it's very hard.
He said, if you do well, you can pay me back, but you probably won't. You probably won't do very well. I'm not following, but let's see if he finishes with something coherent.
Say the worst is a boxer. If you sponsor a boxer, they're all great. They're winning all their fights. And then they turn professional and they go in. And this goes with the UFC, run by Dana White, one of the greats of all time, which has really taken over for boxing. But it's the same thing, and people sponsor people, and they get what they get. But the worst is that
what is happening?
What's wrong? Oh. A doctor, please. Everything else, and fame. We're going to make you famous. All you have to do is make up some stories about Trump. but people don't seem to care. It's phony stuff, phony, horrible. They're lightweights. They're terrible people. You know, when I came, don't forget, I didn't know anybody in Washington. I'm president of the United States. I'm going down Pennsylvania Avenue with the biggest load of military and police and motorcycles and everything you've ever seen.
What? How is any of this shit gonna? What is he talking about? Now he's talking about a military parade.
And I didn't know anybody. I said to my wife, I don't know a lot of people, but the people I know, I got recommendations from a lot of good people, well-meaning people. Some were good. Most were great. But we had some bad ones too. But now I know them all in Washington. I know the good ones, the weak ones, guys like this. I know the weak ones and the bad ones. General, we know the dumb ones and the smart ones, don't we? We know them all. But the voters will hold Kamala and Joe accountable for this November when I take office, and they're going to be held accountable for what they've done to this country. Right? Thank you. I will ask for the resignations of every single senior military official who touched the Afghanistan disaster.
Why? Oh, okay. So anyone who had anything to do with getting us out of Afghanistan, he's going to fire them just because of that.
Want their resignations immediately. And I want them on the desk in the Oval Office, the Resolute desk. I want them on at 12 o'clock, Inauguration Day. Everybody involved with that disaster. When you have a disaster so stupid as that causes
Dude, what are you talking about?
Such problem you don't levels never seen before. We're going to make it so hot that levels. Upon taking office, I will begin the largest peacetime recruitment drive in the history of the armed forces. We have to fill our armed forces with great people, but they don't have spirit now. There's no spirit. Used to bring other soldiers would bring their friends in. Now that doesn't happen. Almost never happens. The sense of spirit, pride, and prestige will soon come roaring back and reach levels never seen before. We're going to make it so hot that I'm going to want to resign and join the military.
Okay, so now he's talking about militarism.
I don't know what rank I would start at. I guess I started private. I don't know. What rank would I have to start at, General?
I guess I started private. I don't know.
He said you'll start at the top. All right, then I'll stay here. That's very good. You'll start at the top. He knows what to say. America's military must always be unrivaled and unbeatable. I mean, I see reports coming out where they do studies, and they said under these circumstances, we'll lose a war to China. Number one, if it's true, why are we saying it? And number two, it shouldn't be true, should it? It shouldn't be true. Not going to happen. Why would they release a report like that for China to read? We're vulnerable here. She said they're idiots. That's a good word. Who's the woman that said that? Stand, please. Who said that? That's very good. That's true. They're man with no memory. Actually, they're wrong. He's not a nice man, and he has no memory. He's not a nice man at all because he started weaponization. And weaponization is a double prong that can come back to haunt them too. It's a terrible thing for our country, I can tell you. A terrible thing for our country. We need a dramatic increase in research. We need a very dramatic increase in development. And in so doing, we will create countless American jobs, including jobs right here in a place called North Carolina. Do we love it?
We will create jobs in a place called North Carolina. That mystical land that few have ventured to, that few have been to, the legendary land of milk and honey, right here in North Carolina.
Carolina. Laura Trump is from North Carolina. She named her daughter Carolina, wife of Eric. I now say that he's the husband of Laura. We changed it. He's great. He's great, and it's a great couple, but she loves this.
He's just rambling.
She just loves it. She's here all the time. And, you know, she comes and we love her too. She's just a...
Okay, a few minutes left. We almost to the end. I've been skimming through it.
All for it. And now she's saying, and you see what she's saying, Yeah. Well, the wall was largely built. We were adding space onto
The wall was largely built.
wall. We built hundreds of miles of wall. I actually took it because Congress gave us a hard time and the Democrats were brutal. We had 11 lawsuits and we won all 11, but I took it out of the military. I called it an invasion of our country. It was an invasion. And we built hundreds of miles of wall. And then I was going
no, you didn't. And also Mexico didn't pay for anything.
to do 200 extra. We ordered it. It was there. And we had that rotten, horrible election where we did much better than we did the first time. And bad things happened. And all of a sudden, I hear that they want to have open borders. And I thought they were kidding. Who the hell wants open borders?
Who the hell wants open borders? I thought they was just pulling my leg. I thought they were kidding, but no, they're serious. They want no border whatsoever.
And then they said, we'll give you health care. You know, now they're saying all about how they're getting tough on the borders and how they were tough, except they have a couple of problems. Do you know that we flew in 1 million people, airplanes, over the top of the border, beautiful airplanes. They're flying them in. If you want to stop people, you're not flying them in on airplanes and many other things. No, they wanted open borders, and we have a country that's loaded up with many, many criminals right now, of the worst. They emptied their jails. They emptied their jails and prisons. They emptied their mental institutions into our country, largely. Now, they're continuing to do it. But if you look at many of these countries that we're talking about, frankly, who can blame them? This country in the world. We're not going to let this continue to go. We're going to straighten it out. We're going to make it bigger, better, stronger than ever before. We're going to bring in business. We're going to use tariffs to take advantage of our great strength and to, frankly, hurt countries that are hurting us and have been hurting us on trade for many, many years. Right now, China is building massive auto plants in Mexico, and they think that those plants are going to make cars and they're going to sell them across the line for no tax, no anything, destroy what's left in Detroit, which frankly, compared to years ago, is very little, and South Carolina and many other places. We're not going to let it happen. We will charge them 150 or 200% tariff, and all of that investment that they made is now worth
150 or 200% tariff for cars. He just says things, man. He just says shit. I mean, but I guess, you know, we didn't watch the full speech all the way through, but it's pretty much like, again, every other speech he's ever given. Same old shit, same old script. And maybe out of the ones that he's done, maybe that one was the most tame. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let's see. Okay, yeah, no, we just saw that. There was like some wording from it. Trump baffles onlookers with claims Americans can't buy bread without getting raped or shot. Yeah, every single time you go to the grocery store, you better wear a chastity belt. All right, let's see what's up. He said,
"You can't walk across the street to get a loaf of bread. You get shot and you get mugged, you get raped, whatever it may be. You've seen it. I've seen it."
Trump said. Yep, that's what I mean. Yeah, just be afraid. Be very, very, very afraid. I literally just ran into the store to grab some groceries, including eggs and bread. I was neither raped nor shot. He's right. I got shot at by some kids on the weekend. It was a birthday pool party and it was a water gun, but I still got shot at. No, that's what he can do. And then you know, again, fear. Everything is falling apart. Here we got this with some video he put on TikTok. Hold on, let's see what's up. Some video. Oh, we got Caroline. What's going on? Good to have you here. This should be tripping. Well, TikTok usually is messed up.
Nobody is safe. Absolutely nobody. We're going to be a strong nation again. We're going to be a safe
Nobody is
nation
safe.
again. This is safe. We're a nation in decline. Nobody is safe. Absolutely nobody.
He said nobody is safe. Absolutely nobody is safe. And then he held up some cuffs.
Be a strong nation again. We're going to be a safe nation again.
This is safe.
All right, man. Trump bails on interview when challenged on Michigan crime wave stats. Local newspaper. I'm just going to read it real quick because we don't really got to pull this up. All of a sudden, the Trump campaign had initially agreed. I know I don't got to pull it up here, but I'm just skimming through it. The Trump campaign had initially agreed that Trump would participate in an interview with the Detroit News on Tuesday. But after the newspaper began asking about the Michigan crime data before the event, a campaign aide said the presidential candidate no longer had time for an interview after the speech. Nah, Trump might not debate. Trump might not do it. I mean, maybe he will. I think it'll be kind of hard for him not to, but I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about that. Because I think he might be better off for not. He's just in a constant rock and a hard place. If he doesn't debate, he can avoid a little bit of embarrassment. But if he does debate, then I can't see that going well for him. Mostly because he's out of his mind. He's completely out of his mind. All right, let's see who's speaking tonight at the DNC. Let's look at the list and see who's speaking tonight. I'm pretty sure Tim Walz is one of the speakers tonight. I don't know who else though. Last night was Barack and Michelle Obama. I think Michelle might have given the best speech of the night. I don't know. I mean, Michelle's speech was good. Barack always gives good speeches. I thought Doug Emhoff's speech was good in a sense of, again, just kind of getting people more familiar with who they are, like, making her normal, making her a human being. Again, especially when compared to the other people on the other side. All right. I think Michelle was her speech was shorter too. Barack was the last person to give a speech. But her speech was a bit more succinct. All right, so who's talking tonight? We got Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar. That's going to be a snooze fest. That's going to be a snooze fest. This will be okay. Very, very, very corporate consultant, Democratic consultant type of speech. This will be a snooze fest. Who else spoke last night? Chuck Schumer spoke. Obviously, that was a snooze fest. Anna Navarro spoke. Bernie spoke. Other people spoke too, but those are the main highlights. Former Lieutenant Governor Geoff Duncan, one of a number of Republicans, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. I've heard her talk a bunch of times, but I'm not sure how exciting or not of a speaker she is in terms of like giving a speech. I'm not sure, but she's beloved by the DNC, so it'll definitely look good on camera. Pete Buttigieg, he'll give a decent speech. He's still Pete Buttigieg. He's still the consultant. Bill Clinton will be up there. We got Bill. We got Bill Clinton. He'll be talking tonight. And then I think I saw somewhere that Walz is going to talk too. Yeah, Tim Walz. He'll be the last speaker. Definitely looking forward to that. He's going to do well. We got Vivek Ramaswamy. I think we already covered how he's reportedly he talked to Trump about a substantial role in the possible administration. Definitely don't want Vivek anywhere near anything important. So let's see what we got. Last night during the DNC, which is in Chicago, Kamala and Walz had a rally in Milwaukee, and it was packed. I think it was more people at that rally than there were at the RNC, because the RNC was also in Milwaukee. So they definitely got, people. Look, if they continue to campaign, knock on doors, call people, do all of that, people are going to vote. You know what I'm saying? So they keep on campaigning the way they are. Then I think they're in a fine place, especially when you got Donald Trump posting stuff like, "Oh, Kamala got where she is because she couldn't get off her knees." Like, yeah, that'll go well for you. That'll turn out well. All right, we got What did Ramaswamy say? I just like reading in his voice. He floated, hold on, let's see. Former Republican presidential candidate and entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy said he has spoken to former President Trump about a substantial role in his possible administration. Ramaswamy joined Outkick's Maintaining with Tyrus for an interview to discuss his potential future, more than 6 months after he suspended his presidential bid. Governor is something that people are pushing me for a lot in Ohio. And how could I not consider it? Ramaswamy said. But also, there's J.D. Vance, a Senate seat that's now open in my home state of Ohio. And I think that's something that a lot of people have really pushed me to consider. I don't think a lot of people would push you to consider that. And President Trump and I have had great conversations about doing something substantial, not small, but maybe a couple roles, not small, something big, but maybe a couple roles that could be really big roles in the cabinet of the new administration. Probably so. Who knows? Hold on, we got to get this. We got Jesse Waters. Oh, Fritza, cover your eyes, hold your ears. We're about to check out Jesse Waters. Dipping his toes back into the birtherism stuff. Okay, let's see. Is the video here? Man, I hate when websites do this shit. I don't know why. I don't know why they do it either. We're like, oh, like they'll tease you and act like they gonna show you a video, but they don't. I guess it has to do with copyright stuff. Where is it? Because I'm not paying for this membership. Okay, whatever. We're just not gonna see this. It looks like. But Jesse Waters in some Fox News panel yesterday, he was like, "We're gonna get to the bottom of whatever, of Obama, that guy from Hawaii. We're gonna have people go there and check it out." And so they just can't help themselves. But Jesse Waters is genuinely a very, very unintelligent person. Like he just is. He's really dumb. Okay, what is this? Do we have it? Do we have the video? Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. No. Okay, this shit is copyrighted like crazy. That must be why nobody has a video. Oh, whatever. But basically, what I want y'all to do is imagine in your minds Jesse Waters on a panel. Saying basically that Obama's not an American citizen and that we're going to get to the bottom of this. So that's still going on. That hasn't stopped. Now we got, hold on, let's see. Come on. There we go. Black women motivated to vote this year say 2024 most important election of their lives. New poll. Black women overwhelmingly believe this year's election is more important than previous elections, with saving democracy and preserving freedoms as their top issues. The Black Women in America national poll conducted by the Highland Project and Brilliant Corners Research and Strategies found that 71% of Black women voters said this is the most important election of their lifetime. As such, Black women are increasingly motivated to vote this year. According to the nonpartisan poll, 86% of Black women said they will vote this election. That's a lot. And an 8% increase from last year. Quote, "This is such a pivotal moment in our country." Gabrielle Wyatt, founder and CEO of the Highland Project, told The Hill, "Black women are truly not just giving their vote, but demanding an actionable agenda that centers our greatest concerns, needs, and dreams." Meanwhile, Donald Trump is posting videos talking about how Kamala got to where she is through sexual favors. Good job. And not only that, but Trump, he can't stop himself from bragging about the reversal of Roe v. Wade. He's always,
it's what everybody wanted it for the past 50 years. This is what everybody wanted.
Like, no, actually, it's not. Very few people wanted that. A minority in the country wanted that to happen. They got their way. They're suffering for it at the polls, but they got their way. He said Republicans wanted this, Democrats wanted this. Like, okay, Donald, keep on bragging about that. Continue to brag about the reversal of Roe v. Wade. Meanwhile, again, you got 86% of Black women, and just poll after poll after poll after poll showing Trump losing, Kamala gaining more and more ground with everybody because people are sick of this shit, man. I mean, Donald Trump is a pathetically unintelligent person. He is not smart, and it's not even just that he's not smart. He is a bad person. He is. Before Donald Trump got into politics, he ripped people off for a living. That's what he did. He ripped people off for a living. That's who he is. So that's why he's tanking so much, because he can't stop showing his ass. Hold on. Racism and discrimination also top issues for 94% of Black women. 93% identify reforming the criminal justice system. 92% identify protecting voting rights, while 9 in 10 Black women said protecting Social Security and Medicare. Fighting inflation and lowering the cost of goods are also top concerns this year. All right. Let's see. We got Karl Rove. Let's see. Bam, 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 bam. Karl Rove talking about how good Michelle's speech was and Doug Emhoff. Let's see. What's going on with this shit, man? There we go. It's working now. It is working now. You said his radio show went national? Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Rashad Richey, he's a hell of a guy, man. He's definitely somebody I look up to and admire. Not only is he successful, but he's a really good person. All right, let's see.
To what Michelle Obama had to say last night, Roland.
Oh my God.
Don't just sit around and complain. Do something.
Come on, man. What's up with this connection?
Obama had to say last night, Roland.
Don't just sit around and complain. Do something. So, if they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad poll, and we will.
Oh God, but let's just get off of this, because whatever page I'm on is not cooperating at all. I know y'all had to have seen this. Hold on, we're gonna get to it. Trump ain't never gonna get over any of this. All right, hold on. We got to go over it, because it definitely one of the highlights of the. What is going on with this shit, man? Damn. I'm sorry, y'all. The connection is just not good today at all. Oh, come on.
Crazy.
What is wrong with the signal?
Conspiracy theories. This weird obsession with crowd sizes.
Why? I don't know what's up with the connection. It's just not good today. The connection is just bad today. You're right. More bandwidth 2024. That's what we got to push for. I don't know. It usually doesn't do this, so it's just something going on today. But I'm sure that y'all already saw that, because that went mega viral. Oh, hold on. Let's see. We might have to cut this a little bit short just because of the signal. I hope this plays, because this was definitely one of the better lines from Michelle Obama's speech, when she was like, somebody might have to tell him that the job he's going after is one of those black jobs.
I defended black jobs.
Please work. Come on. Come on. Okay, I can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm not going to torture y'all with this shit either. But again, I'm sure that y'all, because y'all follow politics closely, so I know that you've already seen at least the highlights. If you didn't watch it, I'm sure that you saw most of the highlights. But for whatever reason, the Wi-Fi is just not good today. All right, so we got Hulk Hogan threatening to body slam Kamala Harris because, yeah. Because, yeah. Yeah, man, this shit is rough today. I don't know what's going on, but we're not going to let it dampen our spirits. That's what we're not going to do. You know, you got to adjust. You got to roll with the punches. You know what I mean? And technology, there's never really a good time for technology to go awry go bad. But hey, man, you got to adjust. But yeah, we got Hulk Hogan threatening to body slam Kamala Harris because, that's, yeah. I'm going to get heat for that one, brother. All right, he says, Professional Wrestling Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan asked a crowd of supporters if he should body slam Vice President Kamala Harris on Monday evening before making a racist remark about the vice president's Indian ancestry. As one does when they're trying to win an election. All of this is incredibly helpful, especially when you're really struggling with women, probably more than anyone else. This is helpful. Hey, be like, hey, brother, should I go beat up Kamala Harris? During an event in Medina, Ohio, to promote his new Real American beer, Hogan called out to the crowd, "You want me to body slam somebody? You want me to body slam Kamala Harris? I said, do you want me to body slam Kamala Harris? You want me to drop the leg on Kamala?" He continued, "Is Kamala a chameleon? Is she Indian?" Before raising his left hand and saying, How? An imitation of a stereotypical Native American or American Indian. Oh, he's saying like how. like that how. Hell no, he said how? In imitation. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna get heat for that one, brother, added Hogan, who was fired from the WWE in 2015 after he was caught on tape using the N-word. That was not me. That was the beers talking. You want me to give her the people's elbow, brother? Again, as one does. As one does. Exactly. Politics by combat. No better way to do it. It's more of a form of direct competition. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot less cheating that can go on. You feel me? So I dig it. I definitely dig it. Politics by combat. That's exactly what we got to do. Right. He said this dude said how. I haven't heard how. I haven't heard that since I last saw in Peter Pan. You remember the Peter Pan Disney movie where he was like, how? That's the last time I even heard that, because that seems like a slur that was used like in the 50s and shit like that, when people used to play cowboys and Indians. But before cowboys and Indians transitioned into the game of cops and robbers, that's when that slur was used. He said how. All right. Man, these videos are just sucking today. Let me try to play one before I show it to y'all. Oh no, it's just not working today. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's better tomorrow, because I'm definitely streaming tomorrow. No video here. No video there. We're not going to watch that. I had some other videos pulled up. Not going to do that. Okay. Lara Trump. What we got Lara Trump talking about? She says, Lara Trump ridiculed for calling Donald Trump more authentic after getting shot in the head. He's more authentic than Kamala because he got shot. Their whole family is just filled with idiots. I mean, seriously. All right. Trump rants about Biden sunbathing and seething in California after the coup. After the coup. Hold on. We got G in the building. What's going on? Oh, we got G. What's going on? Yeah, man, this stream is probably gonna be about 30 minutes shorter than it would have been otherwise, because the bandwidth is just bad today. Don't know why. Not gonna stress about it. Shit happens. It's all good. But y'all are still here kicking it with me, so I appreciate y'all. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see what's up with this. Maybe my computer's running slow so that I can like update it, because like when technology. Like, look, whenever it's time to update your iPhone loves to pretend like it doesn't have any space. All of a sudden, you have no more storage space. But then, after you update the phone, then you're back to having all the storage space in the world. He's an angry man. Former President Donald Trump ran on Truth Social about President Joe Biden sunbathing in California after dropping out of the race, while claiming he was angry at the Democrats. The GOP nominee claimed in a long-winded post to his followers on this morning, that Biden is now seething on the beach in California after sunbathing to pressure from members from his own party to drop out. Of course. Let's see. What did he say? He said, he said Biden was humiliated by Democrats and suggested the president was angry during his speech. Well, love it or hate it, Joe Biden, he got people were clapping for like 4 minutes. So, again, in terms of the DNC itself, that's not how it went down. He got a massive standing ovation. And he was soaking it in. So I don't really, that's not how things played out. But of course, this is Donald Trump. So he says,
I watched Joe Biden Monday night and was amazed at his anger at being humiliated by the Democrats.
Again, there's so many legitimate criticisms to give about Joe Biden, but no, that's not how it went.
I was happy to have played my part in his demise, and that it all began on the evening of June 27th, 2024. The debate, which I think was heavily pushed and promoted by Comrade Kamala Harris.
Comrade Kamala Harris. Then Trump claimed Biden now spends his days unhappily sunbathing. He added, what did he say? Talking about Nancy Pelosi. He added,
she knew what was going to happen, and so did everyone else. It led to the first ever coup of the President of the United States, who is now unhappily sunbathing on a beach in California, watching the waves and thinking how much he hates Barack Hussein Obama, crazy Nancy Pelosi, and lightweight movie star George Clooney, who failed to come to Crooked Joe's defense.
Why is he talking about this? Again, bro, I promise you, Donald Trump is never going to stop talking about this for as long as he lives. He's going to be talking. I mean, because he didn't say it directly here, but it was a coup. That implies that it shouldn't have happened. Of course, it wasn't a coup. He stepped down. But that, he's really still upset that he's not going against him. Hold on, what we got?
The news is that I believe Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States, who served with the worst vice president in the history of the United States, is now seething. I don't know why he gave up. I don't know why he quit. He got 14 million votes. She got none. He's an angry man now, and he should be.
Why? I won't watch that video because the bandwidth is all types of terrible. We got Laura Ingraham talking about how when we said lock her up, it was all in good fun, but they're serious. Yeah, they are serious. And Donald Trump might fuck around and end up locked up. That's definitely that is absolutely in play for Donald Trump, because I'm telling you, if he ain't president, he doesn't have any leverage left. So either way, no matter how it plays out, he's just in a bad position. He just is. At worst, at the least, he's going to be in court for the rest of his life. He's gonna be in court. That man is going to be in court for years. And he's not, don't underestimate Donald Trump. He is not yet finished getting himself in trouble. Oh, no. He is not yet wrapped up with that shit, because this is how it's going to go down, right? Again, things keep going the way they're going. Kamala's almost certainly going to win this. And honestly, she might fuck around and win big. Because Donald Trump is handing it to her. He's like, please blow me out in a landslide. Please destroy me. On top of, he's messing up the down ticket races. I say all that to say, good and damn well that Donald Trump is going to try to steal the election again. He's going to be calling up everybody. Find me 12,000 votes. Give me 8,000 votes. He's going to do everything he can. He's going to get caught. It's not going to work. And that's going to, add many more felony accusations to his list, which he will then get convicted of. So that's what's going to happen. But yeah, no, he again, don't underestimate the man. He is not finished. He is not yet done getting himself in trouble with the law. All right, and honestly, lucky for us that he's running such a bad campaign. Lucky for us. I mean, even if he was running a decent campaign, I think Kamala would still pull it out, but luckily for us, he's pretty much guaranteeing that he's going to lose. He does his shit for the next 2 months and some weeks. Come But yeah, we should count our blessings. Count our blessings that he is not a smart and competent person. And we got J.K. Rowling goes radio silent. Mass deletes tweets as reported lawsuit from boxer Imani Khalif looms. Yeah, because J.K. Rowling she's a silly person. She just is. She is a brilliant writer, but she is, hate and bigotry makes you stupid. Doesn't matter how smart you are, it'll make you dumb. When you're hateful and you got bigotry in your heart, it's not going to play out well. And she just can't help herself, making all these tweets. Nobody asked her. Exactly. Luckily for us, Trump's incapable of learning. Otherwise, we would, we would be in a much different situation right now. But again, count your blessings. Yeah, J.K. Rowling, she just can't help herself. She's a billionaire. She created one of the greatest stories in modern times. She created a massive dynasty. But she's a clown. She's just not down with the LGBTQ community. But apparently she knows better. Controversial Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who has spent much of recent years tweeting about transgender and LGBTQ issues, has not tweeted since August 7th, 2 weeks ago today at the time of this writing, and has also deleted a trove of tweets. Yeah, Monty ain't playing with you, and she is not playing with y'all. The probable reason, we know why, that J.K. Rowling has likely temporarily halted her hateful online rhetoric is because she was named in a lawsuit filed by Olympic gold medal winning Algerian boxer Imani Khalif, who is suing the likes of Rowling and Elon Musk for cyberbullying due to repeated false claims that she was a man competing in women's competition. Well, it's definitely why she did it, because we know she didn't have a change of heart all of a sudden. She didn't just all of a sudden become a decent person. So we got Travis Akers. I'm not sure who that is, but he's got a blue check. But these days, anybody can have a blue check on Twitter. So, but I don't know. He got a lot of likes, so apparently he's somebody. J.K. Rowling has deleted 27 tweets since being named in a lawsuit brought by Olympic women's boxing gold medalist Imani Khalif. Rowling has also not tweeted in 13 days. And it just goes to show that she knows better. She knows better. She just thinks that no consequences will have to be dealt with. J.K. Rowling out here deleting tweets the same way Karen and Goodfellas was flushing coke. Indeed. The potentially expensive lawsuit from Khalif isn't the only way that Rowling's Twitter has embarrassed her in recent weeks, as fans also noticed that the author's profile picture appeared to show a black mold growing up the walls of her house. The lawsuit was filed against X, which under French law means that it was filed against unknown persons. That ensures that the prosecution has all the latitude to be able to investigate against all people, including those who may have written hateful messages under pseudonyms. J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk are named in the lawsuit, among others. Trump tweeted, "So whether or not he is named in our lawsuit, he will inevitably be looked into as part of the prosecution." Oh yeah, speaking of Trump, he's going around talking about this in his rallies and in his speeches. They have men in women's sports. I think that was number 17, again, because on his list of 20 bullet points for what he's going to do for the country. Again, number 18 is if you're a supporter of Palestinian lives, he wants to deport you. Don't know where to. If you were born here, don't know exactly how that's going to work. Nonetheless, it is a part of his 20 bullet point list. And then number 17 on his bullet point list is keep men out of women's sports, because that's an issue that just, that's just plaguing society. It's out of control. It's absolutely out of control. Everywhere you look, it's just men all up in women's sports. Of course, this is not a thing. But yeah, that's number 17 on his 20 bullet point list. All right. So yeah, bunch of rude, bigoted, hateful douchebags may end up having to pay some comeuppance for bullying, because they really did, man. It was just bullying her, man. They're just flat out picking on somebody that they thought they could get away with it, and no. Looks like you can't. I mean, but it's really just such a low life thing to do. You know, like to just talk. I mean, like this. What's the point? I mean, like, does J.K. Rowling, is she even a boxing fan in general? I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about her, but it just seems to me that a lot of people who otherwise don't really care about sports are pretending like they do, just because they feel like picking on trans men and women. That's what it seems like to me. Don't know if it seems like that to you, but that's what it seems like to me. Now, unfortunately, we had to cut the stream a little bit short. We still did it for an hour and a half, but we probably would have went for 2 hours today if the bandwidth wasn't all messed up. I don't know what's up with that. We'll get that together. But thank y'all for joining me. Thank you for all the support. I am going to I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow on Friday as well. The DNC kicks off soon. We got speakers tonight. The highlight of the night will definitely be Tim Walz. Yeah, man. Let's keep doing what we got to do. And again, thank you for everything. And I will see y'all tomorrow.